This is the table of halves and doublings lesson for rests instead of notes. You're going to find that most of the symbols are very similar in the way they work with the notes. So we're going to start first with the strange one. This is a quarter rest. It's like a little number 2 with a backwards C almost. If you want to think of it that way, you can. And this is the one that represents the quarter rest. Again, everything is based on 2, so it's either 2 times greater or 2 times smaller. If we want to go 2 times greater than this, we draw this funny symbol. For the half rest. Now you'll notice I've drawn one of the staff lines and I've put the rest on top of it. It almost looks like a hat. So put in parentheses, hat. Hat sounds like half. And after over 30 years of music making, when I see one of those, I still think hat, believe it or not. Now, the reason I think hat is because when I get to the next one, let's draw a little hat. Spanish hat. How's that? Okay. When I get to the next one, it looks like so. Now you notice it looks exactly the same except that it's hanging from the bottom of the line. It's a little heavier, so it weighs more, let's say. This is the whole rest. It's twice as much as the half rest. And whole sounds like whole. Let's draw a little guy who's about to walk and fall in there. Oh no. Okay, so I still think after 30 plus years of music making, I still think it's either a hat or it's a hole. It's really kind of strange, but I do. Okay, now if I want to get to the next one, what is on your paper looks something like this. It's the whole rest and it has the lines by the side of it. Sometimes you'll see it that way. Modern manuscripts will just simply be a block. So draw this in. It'll just be like a square filling top to bottom, line to line. And that would be the double whole rest. You're probably not going to see this too much in piano music, but you might run across it in some music in the future. If this is worth 1, how much is this worth? That's worth 2 beats of silence. If that's worth 2, how much is that worth? 4. We got to double it, right? Okay. And if that is worth 4, what's that worth? 8. That's going to be worth 8. Okay. Remember, table of halves and doublings. Now let's double this. What if this was worth 2? What's that? What's that? And what's that? Correct. How do you know how much it's worth? Well, we're going to get to that. That's going to be in the lesson called time signatures. We'll get to that later. Okay, moving this way. This is the little symbol we use. It's almost like a number 7 with a little doohickey on the end. Doohickey is not a musical term. And that's the 8th rest. Now, the more doohickeys you add, just like the more flags you add for the notes, the shorter it gets. So I do 2 of them, like so. And what do we call that? 16th rest. We add 3 doohickeys. And what do I get? 32nd rest. I add 4 doohickeys. And I got a 64th rest. And all these are possible. And just like with the notes, you can use more of these. You can say, let's see, right over on the side of the page somewhere, that you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in which case we call it what?
A lot.
128th rest. And I can even have 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and what would we call it? A 256th rest, etc. But you're not going to see those too much. You're not going to see them too often, but you should know how the whole system works. These are the symbols for the rests. This is the only one that looks kind of different, so be aware of that one. And there you have it. Thank you very much.